What's up, YouTube? We've got a list here. Samingram bought a league list, or ball, as we like to call them, because, slime balls are a thing here on the channel. Thank you so much for the support. If you want to be like Samingram, link is down below. And for the Twitch folks, !DQ will give you the queue list. I need to update some of the website with what we've already completed. But it will give you the deck lists, and also it'll give you the link so that you can sign up. So, and then later we have another list. I'm just going to drop that it will be slivers, and apparently slivers were called Meathooks at one point in Legacy. We have a Meathook list here, and we are apparently playing just Meathook Tribal later. What do we got? Well, we got a quick substitution here from what we were given. Just a couple Bitter Blossoms are going to come in for Corpse Knight. I just want to briefly talk about Corpse Knight since it was in here. I kind of like this. It says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses a life. This is interesting because when you have like Bitter Blossom or you have Gathers or Lingering Souls coming in, you're doing damage not by the sacrificing or the death, but rather things ETB. This, for those that go into a meta with a lot of graveyard hate, might be worth looking into. But we've got the request, Corpse Knight out, 2 Bitter Blossoms in, and I'm pretty okay with that because we've had some good success with Bitter Blossom and Meathook. So, what do we have? Well, this list is essentially the black-white Meathook list. It's gone a little heavier into the tokens than even we were doing with things like Gather the Townsfolk and Raise the Alarm. By the way, Faith's Shield is a card I'm very fond of, and this one has the same mechanic on it, which is Faithful Hour. If you have 5 or less life, you're going to create 5 tokens instead of just the 2. That's pretty cool, and definitely something that may come into effect when we're taking all the damage from Bitter Blossom. Now, that being said, we might be gaining too much life. We'll see what ends up happening. Just like our previous list, this has a few dams in it. It's got the Inquisitions. I think my list had a few Thought Seizes. We're going to do a little more removal with Prismatic. We have Goblin Bombardment, which is the new addition, making our list a little bit more Mardu in that you go ahead and sacrifice a creature, you get a Goblin Bombardment, deals 1 damage to any target. That's important because it can target planeswalkers to finish them off. It can target your opponent, it can target a pesky creature. So that's pretty cool. We got the dams in here, Vindicate, Kaya's Guile. I always want to go to 3 on this, but we never seem to be able to fit it. It looks like Samingram came to the same conclusion. Because we're in red, I'll be interested to see how things go. Part of me wants like a Seasoned Pyromancer in here, or a Young Pyromancer as the only other red card. We'll see. Sideboard. Blossoming Calm is an interesting one with a rebounding of Hexproof. This can help us in burn. That would be cool. Some paths. I do like to see path in here. Sometimes bigger creatures are difficult to kill with just prismatic endings, even Infernal Grasp and stuff. Path is just a good way that if we get into those big creatures, we can take care of them. A couple Auroch Champions, pro black and red's really good right now. Engineered can be a wrath for our tokens to win the game. Can kill off some pesky things as well. A Damping Sphere, Soul Guide Lantern, and we're playing a Lurrus version, which means that we do not have 3 drops, 4 drops, or 5 drops. So no Liliana of the Veils, or any other Lilianas, no Sorins, no Gideons, no Elspeths. So this is what we have. Mana base has me just a slight bit nervous here. I don't know how much it's been tested. The Westerwell Abbey I really have enjoyed. I'm just a little bit nervous that we've splashed red. We have a tap land here. We have a tap land there. I'm going to have to be very careful. We don't have any double pips except for Meathook. So we should be okay. If we can get Triome on turn 1, not have to do Inquisition, I think we'll be in good shape most of the time. So we'll see. Fun fact, Blossoming Calm shuts down Archon's ETB and attack trigger. Because you get Hexproof, it targets. Oh, it's not a bad idea. We'll see if that becomes relevant here. We're going to go ahead and take Meathook into our league. Samingram, thank you once again for, I don't know, it's almost like sponsoring the stream, right? It's kind of like you're a mini sponsor of the stream. Sponsoring the league, buying the league, thank you so much. Let's get it rolling. And I mean, I'm kind of excited to just keep playing some Meathook. This is what? Halloween week? It's kind of Halloween week. Technically, Halloween is next week on Sunday, unless you have Sunday at the end of your calendar, and then in fact it is this week. So it just depends on your style, I think, of calendar notation. All right. I'm really excited to see some raise the alarms and gathers. Just make tons and tons of tokens. I almost in this build would prefer to have the intangible virtue as a sideboard card, as a way that, hey, if my opponent goes graveyard, just shut off Meathooks and like Blood Artists, I could theoretically get around that. But I guess the Goblin Bombardment kind of gets around that. You don't need to worry about your graveyard. So speaking of sponsors, do I have any good ones? Down below, our team has them. YouTube doesn't see it, but Twitch does. We have KMC. You can use the code, what is it, DGen Gaming, I think. And then we have Cool Stuff Inc. DGen is the code. We have Alter Sleeves, and we have Fatal Core. For chat, the one I kind of like to plug a little bit more is the Alter Sleeves one, because Alter Sleeves has a sweet little blood moon that you can put over them. Those are the things. That's what's sponsoring us from the Degenerate Gaming folks. Try to make our sponsors happy, and in turn, they try to make us happy. It's win-win, right? Which mono red list are you enjoying the most? Fury red build is probably what I would enjoy the most. Seasoned Pyromancers and Furies. Although, if you don't have Seasoned Pyromancers, swap in 4 Goblin Rabble Masters. I could argue that I enjoyed the Eater of Days one, but I don't think anyone wants to build Eater of Days. But the Fury red build, Seasoned Pyromancer, Rabble Master, just swap in and out. Did this deck win a league lately? No. Not that I'm aware of. I'm pretty sure my community would tag me like crazy if Meathooks won. They banned Bridge because of Hogak? Maybe they didn't ban it because of Hogak. Let's play first. Let's declare Luris. Let's get this kicked off. Let's get a good hand to start things off. Can't do Gather on turn 2 if I lead with Inquisition. But I could just start throwing things out. And I could Gather with a Lingering Souls second half with a flashback. I don't see a problem with this one. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Inquisition, we'll put the Triome in later. And get it done. Get it done. Doesn't even mean, I mean, I could draw a different land, you know? Let's see what's going on, opponent. All right, little Croxa, Snapcaster, Lightning Bolt, and we got the Fire and Ice. Guess I take Snapcaster? Do we really even care about this? Probably not. All right, let's go ahead and do it like that. They split up the Fire and Ice because it's a split card. I like to just have it as the sideways thing here. Polluted Delta, you got it, opponent. Infernal Grasp is okay. We'll play Triome past turn. Then we're going to play in Lingering Souls. Then maybe Lingering plus Gather, and then follow Lingering Souls. Infernal Grasp is great for Croxa. Not that we have to worry about that anytime soon. I think, arguably, I could just put Lingering Souls into the graveyard here if they play Croxa. Yeah, they might also tap down here with Fire and Ice. My hope is that they tap down my Swamp, but they'll probably tap down this, which means I won't be able to play my cards. They play Croxa, though. Just a little Lingering Souls to the graveyard. Here we go. I'm going to be time walked briefly here unless I draw a white source. Sorcery, sorcery, sorcery. If we have Raise the Alarm, we'd be doing something. That being said, as soon as we get to play a little Magic here, we're going to be making a lot of tokens. I almost want Croxa here to put 1 Lingering Souls to the yard, and this is so that if I top deck a land, I could Gather and Lingering Souls. Otherwise, I will be just playing Lingering Souls from the hand. This Lightning Bolt's pretty dead. This isn't a good card against us. Steam Vent shocks him. My opponent's at 14. Croxus. Sounds good. Bye, Lingering Souls. Love it. Okay. Now what? Land? There's that raised alarm a little bit later. Let's go ahead and fire off a Lingering Souls and use the mana to the max here and pass the turn with 2 tokens. Now we have a lot of white pip things here, but we don't have a lot of white right now. That's making me a little nervous for the future games. We'll just call it unlucky, shall we? Preferably here, if they do like Croxa here, which they could, I'm going to be getting rid of like Lingering Souls and hoping to Infernal Grasp plus Lingering Souls. And I'm throwing all the Lingering Souls to the yard because they're the ones that I can get the most value out of. Snaps to Fire and Ice. That's not too worrisome. We're at a healthy 20. All right. There goes our tokens. Guess I'm doing a Shambling Vent here. Could try to raise the alarm here, or I can Lingering Souls. I like the idea of my opponent using Croxa and I get to use this one later. Let's go ahead and Lingering Souls from the yard and pass. Let's continue to get value out of our cards that they only get to kill half of. Shambling Vent coming into tap there hurts us ever so slightly. However, it is a white source, and I will take said white source. If they attack me, they could play Croxa. I will block. I'm going to block, hoping that they go ahead and go, oh, I'll play Croxa here. They're going to play Croxa. I'm going to ditch Lingering Souls. I'm going to Infernal Grasp. I'm going to Lingering Souls. It's going to be a good time, ladies and gentlemen. That's the plan here. Red, red, black, black. You got it, opponent. Our turn basically plays itself here. Pretty easy. Ditching new Lingering Souls. Infernal Grasp. Play our land here. Get out of here, Croc. So I'll just do it now. We're all about that efficiency here of getting to hit that F6 button. In for 1, pass turn. Bolt to Unknowns. What's my favorite Planeswalker? Chandra. She's sitting on the desk now instead of up here, but she's Chandra. What's my favorite Magic card? Who knows? Who really knows these things? All right, what do we got here? Another Fire and Ice. Kill some more tokens. K command. Target player discards a card. Deal 2 damage. I guess technically Gather the Townsfolk technically has more upside. You've been banned from spicy, fatty, and acidic foods. Wow, they just getting all the discard here. I don't need more red, really. I could use more white and black. Let's go ahead and do a Sacred Foundry here. A little white and red. All right, that's nifty. Let's go ahead and Lingering. Let's attack for 2 and pass the turn. They can't Croxa me back again. Unholy Heat's one of them. So we have a Bolt in my opponent's hand. They're trying to make this work here. 1, 2, 3 Croxa. So Dam should be safe here. Maybe Lurrus to hand. Okay. Plus. Little Ragavan. Okay. They have Bolt up again. All right. Let's go ahead and cycle the Silent Clearing. Seems like an okay thing to do here. That's not too bad. They have a Bolt and they have Luris in hand. They have the Croxa. I could attack for 3. I want to attack with all and bombardment, but then I have to sacrifice one to get rid of the Ragavan, and they can bolt another one. And so my opponent's at 8, maybe here. They bolt in response to the bombardment. So they're at 8 when I have 2 tokens and I don't want this to hit me. Holding the bombardment here allows me to do a dam if they do like Luris. And if I hold back, we might have to play a longer game here. I could attack with Shambling Vent here. Luckily, I got double white. What's up, Werefleet or Sam? Other Sam. I sort of like the idea of attacking with Shambling Vent and getting the Lightning Bolt out of their hands. At the same time, I don't like doing that, and I like just damming later. I'm going to wait on the Goblin Bombardment because I feel like I've got to kill Luris here. And if they play Luris plus then Croxa and I have Bombardment on the battlefield, I lose the dam. And I'll probably lose to Croxa. I'm gonna hold. I'm obviously gonna block Ragavan. That's block. Easiest block of my life. Now they're gonna Luris and bring back Ragavan, and I'm gonna get as much value out of Dam as possible. And I can play Dam. Can't quite play Bombardment. But hey, you know. See what we draw. That's a lot better. Okay. If I kill everything, I'm going to still have the problem of the Croxa in play. So let's attack. And let's just board wipe. Then they'll play Croxa. I'll get rid of Bombardment. I'll dam the Croxa. We'll play from the Shambling Vent. Shambling Vent's killed by a Bolt. There's no way they burn a Bolt here on a Spirit token. Well, I say that. Maybe they're trying to get the Croxa back out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they have 1 extra card for Croxa for future. Swing! And then we'll make this for 2. Doesn't need to be any higher than that. Board wipe. That's what the hook does. They're holding the bolt. Triggers. Triggers. Yield to opponent's creatures. I gain life. Yield to them. They go to 7. All right. Croxa played from escaping bombardment to the graveyard. Damn that, and we'll move on with our lives here. Okay. Well, that'd be a creature. It's a big 6/6 too. It's a big one. A big one. Ooh, Dashing Monkey's really good here. Dashing Monkey will be very hard for me to kill. I don't have instant speed ways to get rid of this. They find a Goblin Bombardment. I kind of don't want that, so that's good to miss here. Really, really sometimes the list just wants to behave. Here. We'll give it the old good overload tap out. Your move, opponent. Oh, I still have Luris. You're right. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I almost am not sure if Luris is great here or not. Because right now it only gets me a Goblin Bombardment. I almost want to just swing with Shambling Vent. Let's do this. Let's put Luris to hand. Let's put a Bombardment out. They could get me discarded here. We'll take the chance. This way, if I put Luris into play, I could get whatever I want here. And I can at least get the value here. Inquisition's an excellent draw. Let's see if we can get the Lightning Bolt out of their hand. What if I attacked with this? I mean, like, I put Luris into play, they go to bolt it, I sacrifice it, I do 2 to them. They have to probably sacrifice. I'm not getting too much value, but let's go to the top of the library. If I wait, this is just going to get Inquisitioned away. We all know this. Oh, they decide Scalding Tarn's a good idea here. Start the clock. I'm going to have them do this, and then I'm going to swing in with Shambling Vent. They do not go for the bolt. 1, 2, 3 cards in the graveyard, plus Croxa. I'm just trying to avoid this getting, like, Inquisitions. Like, if they Inquisition and bolt, fine here. So, sacrifice, choose any target, sacrifice this creature, 2 damage. And now we're threatening lethal with Shambling Vent, so the last card has to stop this. There's the Inquisition. Okay, they get the Croxa here. All right, we have a few ways to win here. Any of our token generators will do it. Yeah. We can stop them for a turn with the Shambling Vent here. I don't care about taking 3. We have a lot of outs. That is very close to one of them. I'm going to go ahead and play it and pass the turn. We technically win next turn. And I know they're doing 9 here, and then plus 3 is 12. But if they were to do that, I could gain 1. No, I wouldn't gain 1. They would take the damage. We good. The Bitter Blossom, though, is lethal. It's just a turn later than, like, Gather the Townsfolk, for example. Meathook, yeah. Can you imagine? Ooh, we're at 5. Okay, let's say we're at 5, right? We play this, we get 5 tokens, and if we have Meathook plus Goblin Bombardment, that's 10 damage to my opponent. Dang, that's 10. That's a lot. It's like a burn for 10 as long as they don't have Leyline. That's crazy. All right, so I like these cards the most. You've used the Faithful Hour? Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, Bombardment and Blood Artist is very spicy. I'm really not sure how I'm approaching this, because I want the discard, or sorry, I want the kills, the Vindicate and these. The Prismatic Ending hits most things. Maybe I don't even need the Path. Path is probably for, like, something bigger. Soul Guide Lantern interests me enough, because Croxa is a pain to deal with. Auric Champion's just a solid blocker. Blocks everything. So I want this in here somewhere. Well, Path is good, but so is Prismatic Ending. Dashing Monkey is a little worrisome. I'm gonna draw. Let's do 2 Aureox, 1 Path, 1 Soul Guide. I can actually take the Inquisitions out. Something's telling me that is the right play. And let's take what? 1 Raise the Alarm. 1 Raise the Alarm. I think it's the weakest token generator here. Bitter Blossom obviously does damage to us, but we're okay with that. We're okay with that. Oh, this is a very weird hand. Like, part of me wants this, and part of me knows that a Ragavan's just gonna start wrecking me. I'm gonna keep it. Something tells me they won't play Ragavan turn 1. I got this gut feeling. By the way, they do play Snapcaster. Let's be a little bit aware of that for Auriok Champion. Mull, well, we saw the future. Didn't need a Mull. Should Goblin Bombardment just be Perforos? Perforos is 4 mana, right? So I can't play Laris then? Is this Dashing Monkey? No. It's none of the above. I don't know what they're doing. All right. Let's slap down an Auriok Champion and go. Got the Raise the Alarm coming up soon. Got to Vindicate. Maybe I'll Vindicate a land, get rid of the red source. Oh, now they have more red sources. I'm not going to attack because of Snapcaster Mage. Let's just try to resolve a Blood Artist. Sure. It's always yes, always trigger, always yield, always, 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 always. I might just play Meathook plus Raise the Alarm next turn just to get a Meathook in play. We've seen that as a valuable strategy. They also might just shoot this. That's fine. It's not like they're killing this. I'm feeling good from where we're at. They don't get another red. That makes me want to Vindicate the Croxa. Just kidding. There's a mountain. Just kidding. Also, we're on turn 4. My opponent has not played much. I mean, now I just slam that, right? I mean, if they have the counter, they have the counter. I don't know what they're playing. Counter this. Do something. You're going to die. Not attacking. Snapcaster scary. Not pro blue. What is Blink of an Eye doing in Modern? Can someone explain this to me? I guess I'll Raise the Alarm in response. Trigger, trigger. I'll take my Bitter Blossom back and, yeah. Modern staple Dratmalock. It might be. Big Tempo Head. What is this? What am I playing against? What is Time Warp doing in here in Blink of an Eye? Did I just not like read them correctly? What? What is happening? It's a pretty Time Warp. I do like this. I'm a little confused. Not gonna lie. I guess I should have Vindicated a land. They haven't countered anything. They blink something. We have spot removal. Yeah, Time Warp. Yep, they are still a Luris list. Still Luris. I'm very confused. Excited, but confused. We're playing things like this too with our time warps. Puts Luris to hand. That's all they did. They put Luris to hand. All right, I don't have red, unfortunately. Hey, Apex Gaming Esports, what's up? Are they the same people that made the layout? Bitter Blossom again. I'm going to attack with 2 soldier tokens here this time. I kind of want to just put Meathook down now while I have kind of this chance, this window. Well, I had a little more of a window, but that'll do. That'll do. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and Meathook here for 0 because I don't want to lose my Auriok champion. And this way I basically replace the Blood Artist with something that's a lot harder for them to deal with. You think they stream Paper Modern events? I believe it. I believe it. Oh, our Vindicate's not going to happen here. You get rid of Bombardment, but they're going to bring Kroxa back again. I gain life. Dang it. I got to kill Kroxa? Well, I have Kaya's Guile. I have Prismatic Endings. I have Dams. I have Infernal Grasps. I have a blocker that blocks to infinity. Yield to our Bitter Blossom here. Auriok Champion. New Meathook. Do I draw here? Maybe I don't. I'm going to just pass the turn. We're at 28. Wednesday Pioneer. That sounds cool. I guess I could blink of an eye my Auriok champion. Attacks me. You got it. What's cool here is we're going to go to end step and pick up with Castle Lochthwain. Take 1 damage, right? We can start attacking in the air as well. Luris and Bobble are going to play nicely for my opponent. We're looking for a dam, probably. I gain another life. Gaining all the lives. We're gonna have so much life points at the end of this. What else you got, opponent? They're still trying some. Ragavan, you got it. Up to 30. I like that. They don't have 3 mana here, so it's not K command. All right. Let's draw. Okay, Godless Shrine. Untap. Bitter Blossom. Auriok Champion. Bombardment. Let's go ahead and draw again. You know what? I'm going to shock in. Less damage. Draw again. All right. We're not doing anything. Pass the turn. I'm not going to attack here. I think I want a few more blockers here. We got a lot of critters on that side. What's the tool used for the bottom bar of the stream? The bottom bar of the stream is just the Streamlabs notifications that you sometimes see that are stacked on each other. It's just in a horizontal layout. Yeah, we need that red source. Then we can just blow up my opponent and kill him. If we can find the red source, we'll be... I could put Luris to hand, I guess. I have a Meathook that I can go get. Yeah, it's just a horizontal layout of that. Like Everose has it. A lot of people, it bounces in and then the next notification comes in, it goes up, and then it goes off the screen. Ours is just horizontal. The Creeping Tar Pit here. Opponent attacks us. I'm going to get rid of my Swamp, take 3 here. That's fine. All in today's work. Block. By the way, we can get enough tokens eventually to block this or just swing and bombardment them to death. Draws here. I would fully expect some sort of discard. My opponent's getting to see every card we draw, so I think they know about this. Time warps. All right, well, I'm not getting to do anything here because my opponent's time warping us. As the second time warp. We do have a Westvale Abbey. Yeah, so sacrifice 5 tokens, deal 5, and swing over for 9 would kill them. Block, block. I like this. One of our creatures died, and one of theirs died. I know they can get it back with Luris, but that's okay with me. Guess we shouldn't be surprised opponents playing Time Warp. Time Walk. Time Walking. They're going for this. Snapcaster, Time Warp. So they're literally playing Grixis for Fire and Ice, Blink, and Time Warps, plus Snapcasters. Ragavan replayed here. Now I need a dam off the top. That's what I need. 1, 2, 3. Can't quite do it if I get another land. Another Meathook would be okay. Maybe I play Luris from hand from the Great Beyond. Oh, that's not good. Engineered on 0 is not good. All right. Well, we're still gonna play this because they lose 2. I'm gonna block Kroxa. I'm gonna take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus Ragavan here. Looking for that dam. Looking for that dam. After this card, though. Okay. Protection from red and black. We're good. Mishra's Bauble. They'll get to see the top. I think I've got one more turn here because I can definitely do Luris. I'm sure my opponent has a way to kill Luris. Time Warp? Time Warps again. I don't think I can beat triple Time Warp. Not gonna lie. Taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have double bolt, they kill me. If they have single bolt, they kill me with Creeping Tar Pit. Yeah, it was the third Time Warp. Obviously, we continue to block Kroxa here. I'm at 5. Top of the library is a Godless Shrine. Didn't want that. Snapcasters to Time Warps again. So that is now, they cast, exiled, and then cast, played, cast, played. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Time Warps. I don't think I can beat 5 Time Warps. All right. It's a lot of Time Warps. I think I want... You gain Hexproof. I think I want this extra Soul Guy Lantern. Yeah. It's hard to beat 5 extra turns. We maybe want a pair of paths. I'm really worried about giving them too much mana, though. Kind of worried about that. Maybe the Vindicate was a little slow. That could be replaced by a path. I'm on the play now. Maybe the paths are just better than the Prismatic Endings. I can take like these 2 out and like kind of replace it like this and then take one more of something else out. Maybe another Raise the Alarm. I'm on the play this time. Maybe I take 1 Goblin Bombardment because it was a little hard to cast in favor of paths and more graveyard hate. And I have Torp Orb. Man. Do I want the Inquisitions because I'm on the play now? Over Prismatic Ending? Maybe I take 1 Gather, Inquisition, one something else. I'm gonna go down to 2 Bombardments. Let's take 2 Inquisitions with us and paths. All right. I know the Bombardment's really good. I'm going to trim it just a little bit here to have more interaction because it looked like my opponent, well, you know, or you can just do this. I guess I keep this hand. I'm not so worried about the 6/6, really. More worried about the Snapcaster, one of the few times that I'm kind of worried about it. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this. I'm going to go get the Triome and then play from turn 2 on. I happen to have both bombardments for some reason in my hand. We'll see how that plays. All right. Opponent had no turn 1 play here. We are going to do the Urborg just to save on life points. I'm going to pass, let them try to dash in a monkey maybe, and raise the alarm in response. Raise the alarm. All right. Well, opponent didn't do anything. Raise the alarm anyway. We have a Flusterstorm. Nifty. That is the first counter we've seen out of them. Okay. Let's do a Blood Artist pass turn. See if they have a bolt. My opponent's list is kind of all over the place, if I'm being very honest. No black mana this time. We are not interested in black mana. Are we going to bolt? Are we going to Ragavan? Going to Kroxa. Get rid of a bombardment. Oops. Trigger. All right, let's go ahead and get a bombardment down while I have the opportunity, and we'll just pass turn. Bolts Blood Artist, still triggers, and we're good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. If they get a fetch land, they don't... Technically, the Urborg's helping them, so I guess that was a reason for them to not have to fetch. It's a Soul Guide Lantern, that's fine. Doesn't really impact us too much here. Luris, it isn't really used a whole lot from our graveyard. Let's pass the turn with everything up. See if they want to cash in their Soul Guide Lantern. They do. It's fine. All right. Opponent's got enough to bring Kroxa back. If they do this, probably just get rid of the Meathook. That's something I could pick up later. And double Infernal Grasp looks pretty good. I almost want to go ahead and just Infernal Grasp here while they're tapped out, just in case they have Force. Because my opponent's had a lot of weird things. I could also do Raise the Alarm here and hope. You know what? Let's go for the bigger play. Raise the Alarm here. I get Infernal Grasp. Hope they don't have Force. This is not a bad one. But let's go ahead and stick with this plan. And then attack for 2 and keep moving on. We're holding Dam here because if they do get Luris to hand and then they were to play a couple creatures out, the Dam is a board wipe. This is instant speed. This is a board wipe. It's gotta weigh which one you like more. Cancel. Sacrifice this target here. Sacrifice this target here. Don't let him die. Don't let him die. Opponent draws. We had a Bitter Blossom. We'll play that. I'm looking for an opportunity to get Luris down, but when you draw things like Bitter Blossom, it's just obviously what you want to be playing. This and Goblin are pretty good. We have 5 mana. That's Time Warp territory again for my opponent. EE on 2 gets rid of 2 of our things here. They're going to pop them immediately. Okay. Love to get Luris down. Let's put it to hand and pass turn. See what happens. I would like to draw a 4th land, too, at some point. It would be nice. Luris can't really get too much back right now. How many lands does this list play? 22, 23, 21? Again, no lands. Now I want to look. 22. 22, and I've used 1 fetch. Nothing like hook to keep you hooked. I know, right? See if I can resolve an Auriok champion. Resolved. Okay. That's something. What's up, Marauder Otter? How's it going? Blink of an eye, they draw a card. We'll F6 here. You're my favorite wolf. 1, 2, 3, 4. They need 1 more card to get Kroxa again. Opponent time warps. That is the card they need to Kroxa now. So it was just a straight time warp. This is an easy Meathook. Luris to hand. Okay, Inquisition. Westvale Abbey. All right, we finally hit something. I'm going to still go with playing Auriok Champion here and leaving Infernal Grasp. I want to be able to put Luris and play, like, the Bombardment. They have plenty of black. we gave them the gift of black mana. Not that I could really prevent this at this point in the game. So there's Luris. Let's see what they want to do here. With this trigger on the stack, I'm going to go ahead and try to kill Luris so they don't get Bobble. We have that Flusterstorm again. Playing all the counters now. I will not pay for this. I would love to gain 1 life, though. Yeah, we have the Urborgs in here. Little Bobble. I'm gonna get to dam this away, though. That's good. Maybe I Meathook now. All right, so I'm gonna attack for 1. Then I'm gonna Meathook. Do I play the Shambling Vent or do I hold it because they'll Kroxa, then I want to dam, and then I could play Luris? Definitely hook over dam. It's just a matter of, do I like kind of hold the Shambling Vent so that I'm able to kill? Or do I play the Shambling Massacre? If they do Kroxa next turn, I could Luris plus Bitter Blossom, which is interesting. But they could probably pick off my token every time. Just deciding whether I want the Shambling Vent to be played or not. They have Force. All right. I'm going to hold the dam then, and the Shambling Vent. My opponent just came out no counters game 1, time warps game 2, and every counter in the book in game 3. This has been very confusing. All right, unfortunately, Ragavan hits here, which is not what we wanted. Just an Arid Mesa, okay. Time Warp. We're trying to avoid my opponent getting us with the whole Croc so that they can play. But I think we just lost. They just Time Warped. If they have a Snapcaster or a Time Warp again, they get to attack again plus Ragavan. They have plenty of mana. This attack was loose to get the 1 point of damage in rather than just going for the Massacre. There's a Prismatic Ending. We can lose our Auriarch Champion now. Land played. You got the Time Warp. You got the Snap Time Warp. Plays Croxa from the yard. This is where I get rid of the Shambling Vent. Plays the Croxa from hand now. I have to get rid of the Luris. They've got it all. They have quite a bit, don't they? Don't they? Well, do they have the other counter now? No. All right. They play Croxa from the yard. I lose the path here. Oh, they bolt me. I'm at 2. Okay. I need an answer for this Croxa. I need a Kaya's Guile. One of my 2 Kaya's Guiles here. If I can find one of those 2, we're in the game. We're also on turn 14 for them, and I have 4 lands. I don't know what turn I have. 12 or something. Something to at least note. Blink of an eye this. Replay it. Kill me. Oh, they replay the other Croxa here. They got us. Yeah, I guess 2 Croxas will do it. What's up, Bunny? This is a tough matchup. This is insane. Man. That was insane. There's a Prismatic Ending. We were going to top deck to take care of the 1 Croxa. We still lose there, though. And there's our lands. Dang. That was crazy. I don't mind losing there, but wow, that was something else. That list was all over the place. We did not, by game 2, we didn't read them into that as much, and game 3, we didn't expect all the counter spells. Graveyard value too much. Well, what's funny is, other than the Croxas there and the Luris, I guess their value wasn't as much. I mean, the first game, they had the Unearth, and we never saw another Unearth. Just a lot of taking turns. It's crazy. Something different. Something new. Hey, Bunny. Or D20. Thanks for giving one to Bunny. How's it going? Thank you, thank you. You get those sweet emotes. You can come back to the Discord, even though there is the Discord section that's for everyone to chat in now. Let's play first. All right, Samingram, we gotta get you a W here. Ooh, all right, this is a lot of lands. I know we kept a bit of a hand, but it unfolded decently. That's true. They cast 2 to 3 warps from the graveyard. You play the Mog, Zale? That's an interesting one. Why'd you change your text, Zale? You're red now. All right, I don't think I can keep this. Let's mulligan this. All right, here we go. Keep, probably, arguably, could just send back the Bombardment because it's not castable right now. So, let's do that. And see what we're playing against. I'm not allowed to change. No, never. Oh boy. So, Fire and ice here. We have shardless, crashing. Why is it red? How long is this? 4 turns? I almost want to just take this. I don't particularly like what we're playing against here. All right. They're going to put the footfalls into suspend here. We're going to play the Godless Shrine. They're going to fire and ice us. We're not going to get to vindicate a land. Unfortunately. I'm going to hold the Meathook because if I just flood out, that will kill the rhinos. So that's something we've got going. Suspends another Crashing Footfalls that they top deck. We do have the option to go ahead and vindicate a land, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Slow my opponent down. Rude. It was my only line, opponent. I can kill 1 rhino right now. Scalding Tarn. We'll see if they fire and ice me. Do not. I'm just planning to raise the alarm here. My opponent flooded out better than I did. Okay. Well, we can play Blood Artist, and then from here, I get Infernal Grasp. Currently, Massacre's at 2. 2 is okay. I would need 2 more lands here, but we'd be hit quite a few times. I'm gonna hope they don't have the instant speed cascade. Woo, they don't. Okay, 15. This feels like a tough matchup. Guess I'll bring EEs in for 0 so I can kill their tokens with my tokens, and everyone's token's gonna die. Fetches Shocks goes to 12. Fetches goes to 11. Steam Vents Shock down to 9. Fetches are at 8. Basic. I'm going to be so dead if they do have a Cascade spell and decide just to wait. I'm going to be so dead. Maybe they just flash this in. All right, they kill Blood Artist and make a treasure token. All right, first crashing coming into play here. We've got 2 rhinos. You almost always lose to rhinos. I mean, they're pretty difficult. Go ahead and kill 1 of these. Taking 2 versus 4 just seems better. Okay, a little Lingering Souls here. All right, we're in an interesting position here. The Lingering Souls plus the Meathook Massacre might be enough. We're going to pass. That being said, they have the Fire and Ice, so they can kind of pick some stuff off. A Brazen Borrower as Spirit Token is no longer in hand. We have all this stuff in all kinds of exile zones. Extra Footfalls coming down. It's a lot of rhinos. Tax me for 4. I have to take it, I think, here. I'm at 11. Fire and Ice 2 tokens away. Oh, Fury. Well, if I hit a dam here, we have a chance. So I need a dam here to clear the board. That's not going to do it. The Trample's good value. The Lingering Souls here. Maybe if I have the Meathook in a little bit earlier, instead of trying to use it as board wipe. If I did that, they killed, what, about 4 tokens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they'd be at 2. All right. So damping and engineered. That's what I got. That's what I got. That's about it. That's about it. And they have Fury. Fury's like a token killer. I think Vindicate, it was cute there. It killed a land. Not worth it. Dams are worth it. Infernal Grasp is like iffy. My idea here is to have a Meathook, Blood Artist, and Goblin Bombardment. 2 of the 3 have enough tokens that when they attack, I can block and like die with triggers or something else. That's my goal, I think. There's Damping Sphere in here. Let's get rid of the other Infernal Grasp. All right. This one's going to be a tough matchup. I would love to get the Rhino players when I'm playing Prison, though. 1 lander. Okay, here's a 2 lander. Got double Bitter Blossom and a Meathook. We could just get rid of the Prismatic Ending here. Inquisition and then Bitter and hope to draw the 3rd land. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. I can take the minimum amount of damage here, I think. There's a gemstone. What's your favorite tier deck? Define what you're asking a little bit better. Do you want a deck that is top tier or something else? I don't think I follow. If I do this, I need... Man, I'm going to do Godless Shrine. It's dangerous the other way. I need double black. Did I see your new bike? No, I have not. I would assume you posted it sometime today and I just missed it. Well, that's a hand. I probably just take the Force because of what my hand looks like. I mean, I like Red Prison, but you probably won't consider that a top tier deck. Endurance doesn't bother me here. You want to take the Borrower because they don't have the 2nd blue here. And that's an option too. All right, let's try that. I'm willing to try that because of the no 2nd blue here and just not worry about the Force. Jam a Bitter Blossom. They can't bounce it and go from there. We'll see if that benefits me or not. I'm going to take all the damages. All the damages. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. You should say motorcycle? That's different than a bike. All right, attempting to resolve a Bitter Blossom here. My opponent did pick up a Mystical Dispute. So my opponent is pretty much empty-handed at this point. We're going to attempt to resolve another Bitter Blossom. Goblin Bombardment's a good follow-up. And then Meathook Massacre. We have a really high chance of winning this game now. All right, Misty. Don't Cascade, please. Don't tell me the other card you drew was a Cascade card. Bitter Blossom trigger. Let's play Bombardment. Probably play this land and pass. All right. We've almost got the whole combo out there. Just saying. Please don't be 2 lands in Cascade. All right. Triome. Wonder if they'll just like jam this in. 1, 2, 1, 2. If I get another land, I could do the... Well, I mean, I have 2 Bitter Blossom tokens as well. I think I just jam. Blood Artist off the top? That'd be crazy. Blood Artist off the top. I might just Meathook X0. You know? X0 Blood Artist and start like just accruing tokens and then just rapid fire them off. All right, we're doing something. EE on 0 would be nice here if they Cascade. Please don't do anything, opponent. All right, they just want to Endurance at instant speed. We'll probably just pass the turn here. Now I want an Inquisition. Let them flash in Endurance and see what else they've got. So do I put Meathook in here? I think I do. I really think I do. Not for 1, just for 0. Remember, I've got Luris here too to go grab. Could do that for the turn or Meathook X0. Generating a token every turn. It's 2 damage to them, plus gain 1. There's Endurance. Hook for 0. Then it just makes their Fury really awkward too, so... All right, I got a Prismari Command. I got a Seasoned Pyromancer. I got a Fury. We can cast everything. What I could do here is Prismari Command. If I held Hook, I could use the Hook to kill the token. Probably don't want to do that. I'm probably still just getting rid of Prismari. Monkey Jumping. I think we take Command. It's the most useful card here. And then that forces me, I think, to Meathook for 0. Pass turn. See what happens. See what happens. I can't really attack into this, so. All right, so I can drain them for 4, gain 2. That's what I could do here. Land drop. Do they play Seasoned Pyromancer to dig, or do they try to wait for the cast of the Fury? The cast of the Fury. Do I just take 3? I think I take 3 here. Actually, I can block 1 here and do the sack. Target here, sack this. damage, and sorry, it's not a draining gain because it's not Blood Artist. But I prevented damage and did some damage to them. Yeah, we blocked and sacked. That's what we did. My opponent's paying for stuff, so they're probably going to pay Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, new cards. New cards. Don't have to worry about the Fury, which is oddly nice. But the other cards they just drew could be really bad. Scalding Tarn. Breeding Pool. Shocks this in. That's not good. Suspends a Crashing Footfalls. Okay. Little Footfalls down. All right. Token. Land drop. All right, we're going to attack, and then I'm going to boot up Shambling Vent. I will probably play this land. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Maybe I don't have to yet. Let's go ahead and pass, not playing the land. I don't believe it hurts me yet. Okay. Crashing this down to 3 here. We do have a wall of nasty stuff in our way. I'm going to boot up Shambling Vent to block Seasoned Pyromancer and block here on the Endurance. We are only booting up Shambling Vent here. Okay. Gonna block the Seasoned Pyromancer here. This saves me more life points. And the main reason I want to do this, I think, is if they were to play a land and make more tokens, then a future Meathook could be lethal. Do they have a kill spell for this? Double Fire and Ice? Prismari Command plus Fire and Ice here? Then I'll just throw it at him. It's a shame. All right, so sacrifice. If I do damage to this, I'm not killing them. I'm going to take 3. I think I've got to send everything upstairs. All right. Double damage here. We take 3. Eight to 8. Extra token. That's game. All 5 tokens here. That's game. No, I have 4, but it's 2 each. There we go. Woo! I was like 5. No, it's 4. Ooh, okay. We didn't think about the Lingering Souls being a 4 damage burn spell. If you're able to play the back half of it, it becomes an 8 damage burn spell with both of these. Dang. Oh. We had the dam coming as well. Nice. All right. Now do it again on the draw. You're funny last guy. Oh, wait. Sam's watching still. Yeah, we'll do that. Definitely want my Inquisitions this time. Endurance is really not that much of a problem, I think. Man, this is going to be hard. Souls is broken. I think I'm just sending it back. I mean, I don't really want to path a Rhino or an Endurance, really. I do kind of like the idea of that Mog, though. Mog War Marshal instead of Gather, but we'll see if we get the Gather Fateful Hour to trigger at some point. If we balance our life total, we might have a shot. All right, Luris declared. Okay, this hand's reasonable. I'm going to go ahead and keep it. We have the Engineered Explosives. I do have just like Bombardment. But we'll be good. We'll be good. I trust we'll be good. Gotta raise the alarm now, too. That's nifty. Okay, Triome. I think I did this incorrectly. I want to Triome and then fetch Basic Swamp is I think what I wanted to do. Oh. Fetches Stomping Ground Shocks. My opponent's planning to just ice this. So, cool. You got us. You got us, opponent. We'll just be putting an Arid Mace in, passing the turn. Oh, yeah. Well, this is going to be interesting because my opponent can Cascade. Let's see here, I probably want Godless Shrine. Got a lot of white cards in hand right now. There's an Urborg. Okay. If I play Bombardment, they Cascade. That's 8 damage. They can put me to 10. Can then EE. Yeah, it's explosives and not Chalice. I think I'm putting Bombardment into play and passing the turn. If my opponent happens to Cascade in main phase 2, I could Prismatic Ending. I'm expecting them to go ahead and do this with Rhinos. So I'm going to have 8 damage on the battlefield. Okay. This is expected. Pretty much on the following turn, I have to be able to EE. I'm hoping I draw a land so I can like raise the alarm as well. And if my opponent has like a Force plus another Violent Outburst, I just lose. Not a whole lot I can do. What's up, Philosopher? I'm at 10. Wanting a land drop here. Land drop, land drop, land drop, land. All right, no land. Well, I'm going to die really fast otherwise, so let's go ahead and put the Engineered in on 0. Pass the turn. Cool. That is all I can do. Now they attack. Now we pop this because I don't want to get fire and iced. Okay. Now what? Cascade? Yep. Okay. I can Prismatic Ending one of these. I could then raise the alarm to get the Shardless Agent. Go from there. Is it good? That's good. Wonder if I can manipulate this to get to 5 life. Join the dance for tokens? I'd have to look up that card. I'm trying to get to the Fateful Hour. So alarm to kill that when they attack. So I definitely need to kill a rhino here. I guess I tried to alarm because I want the gathers. Man, imagine if we had 5 mana. Things would be so different. Let's see if we can get something fancy happening here. Maybe I'm just supposed to take the 6 and go to 4 here. Yeah, we could alarm and don't block. I'm going to scare them here. Maybe they counter this. Then we top deck basic land and slap them for 10. I'm going to go no block here. We could kill them if they have no interaction. Block 1, go to 5. Well, if I go to 5 here, then attacking back isn't lethal. Because I can make 10 tokens attack for 1, putting them to 14, and then I could hit them for 11, putting them to 3. Or if I attack twice here, that's 13. Yeah, I guess it's not lethal either way. I'm not going to block here. I don't want to be sitting at 6. I want to be sitting at 5 or 4. We'll just hold our breath. Okay. Land, basic. Shockland's awful. I don't know if I go to 2. I don't want to. Let's gather. Well, how was I supposed to know I was going to draw exactly Foundry? Take 1 less damage so I could shock in. Maybe it's correct. Maybe. I have enough blockers now. Maybe I just put this in sideways. You jerk. Why are you playing Force of Vigor? I don't think I do anything here. Hey, Hooch, thanks for extending your tier 1 sub through November. I think we let this resolve. And hope they have no more rhinos here. They cascade into more rhinos. I'm like really toast, right? 4, 8, 12. 5, 6, 7 I can block. If I shock in, I die to Fire and Ice. Basically, I'm going, do they have another one of these? Sliver deck does not play Meathook. All right. I'm going to put this in tapped. I lose to rhinos anyway, so I'd rather not lose to Fire and Ice. Granted, Fire and Ice kills 2 of these. Then I got to block 4 and 1. Two upstairs, going to block 4. I think we're in a pickle either way. If I was at 5, yeah, I was shocked, then I'd have 10 tokens. Okay, they kill 1 creature. Turn target creature you don't control to its owner's hand. Okay. So they can bounce another one if they want. This gets +1/+0. Oh. Oh, I'm dying anyway. I guess I'm going to 1. I have to block one here, one here. So I guess it's good we didn't shock in. Well, I'd have more tokens, but... Okay. I am at 1. Basic land. Okay, okay. Let's gather first, hoping it resolves, then Blood Artist. Okay. It could be something. Probably not, because they could just pick Blood Artist off and be happy. They're not bolting me or firing or anything like that. I guess Dead Gone's just going to return this to the hand. Which Elspeth? Crashing Footfall suspended here. Okay. My opponent does not attack. They did not attack. Ooh. Okay, okay, okay. We can... Let's go ahead and Prismatic Ending the token. And let's get some Lingering Souls in here. Okay. Sitting at that beautiful 1. Can I attack here? I can attack with like 3 of these? The last turn they just suspended 1. That's it. I feel like I could attack with a few of these. I don't mind losing 1. I wonder if I'm supposed to try to get like Lurrus to hand and then Bombardment instead of like making the tokens. Elspeth's Knight Errant? It might be. Like Fringe. Very Fringe playable. Alright, I've left myself 4 things back. Or 5 technically with the Blood Artist. So if they like Fury me, I still have a blocker. Playing around Fury. Land drop. Okay, they didn't do a land last time. No attack. Meathook. I don't know if I want to play that. If they Fury, Blood Artist triggers would save you. I guess it's fair. Well, yes and no. So my opponent could cast this, the Gone side, to return Blood Artist, and then Fury with an Evoke Creature, the Evoke Exile. So let's be careful. I don't know how I want to play this. I want Goblin Bombardment. I can't cast it. Oh, it's... Well, I mean, all right. They could have the card. Apologies, yes. But they could still have the card. Yeah, we're 1 hook or bombardment away. So I'm just like, what's the easiest way to get there? I think it's probably just like attack with 2 spirit tokens, play Lingering Souls, pass turn. This is probably just the best line, maybe. Yeah, it's a split god, but they could still have Gone. Like they could Gone here, and then they could have killed with the Fury stuff. I still stand by the thought process, maybe not flashback like I was thinking, but we're fetching on their upkeep for basic island here. With the Crashing Footfalls, it's going down to 2. They're playing something. They're playing something. Crap. Oh, okay. Charlotte agent. Okay, okay. Just some rhinos. them rhinos. I guess a dam off the top would win, right? We win. We win. We're going to top deck a Silent Clearing. I would play that, cycle it. I'd hit a Westvale Abbey. We'd have the Lingering Souls. We'd attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be 8 I'd be attacking with. I don't know. I think they play the Rhino here, right? Then I have 1, 2, 3. I mean, I double down on the Lingering Souls here, right? Double down on the Lingering Souls so that I have block. I think they let this go and then try to rip a Fire and Ice off the top. Oh, they didn't cast? No, this is still... Well, maybe. Maybe. There's the bombardments. We were 2 turns away. This is a close game, though. We ended up beating Rhinos. It probably was winnable. It just depends on if they would have gotten the Fire and Ice. Hooch! Yeah, Gather did some stuff there, surprisingly. They did not have another Footfalls. Maybe that was it. I can't return to the game. Maybe that was it. Come back. Join match. All right, well, we're 1-1. That was a good one. That was a good one. By the way, Hooch, thank you so much for gifting that sub to Al on Caffeine. Welcome. They revealed all 39 cards. Oh, maybe they did. How many Footfalls did we get through then? Did we get through that many? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is kind of a fun hand. I think I'm going to keep it. Westvale Abbey's a little awkward here, but I'm always down for getting a Bitter Blossom down. Let's go. Raise the Alarm's not a bad backup afterwards. Got at least 2 cards I can cast. We're getting there. Little Mishra's Bauble and a Spire Bluff Canal. Who knows what this could be? Murktide? Can't wait for Slivers? That's round 2. We're in round 1. We're playing hooks right now. All right, opponent has counter magic. Pretty confident because of the snow-covered island here. We're gonna still jam this. Hey Hooch, thanks for giving one out to Little 1K as well. Welcome. By the way, I'm gonna throw up the Discord. Discord is being opened up to all folks. Subs get a larger section of the Discord right now, but our non-subs will be able to use sections of the Discord here in the next few weeks. Bitter Blossom Resolve, surprising. Thought they would have a counter spell. Expressive Iteration. Okay. You got it. Flooded Strand. Bobble. Uses Bobble. Checks themselves. Fetch. No shock. Argo. Well, I like the idea of Lingering Souls here and passing the turn with more and more tokens arriving to the battlefield. Looks like a control list, so I'm pretty happy this resolved. Like I said, I thought they had a counter spell. They had blue open. Unholy Heat. Misty Rainforest. Fetch. Shock. Steam Vents. Unholy Heat's a token. And that was the turn. Let's see here. I need a little more white here. Let's do Lingering Souls. Let's attack. I'm going to do Raise the Alarm on their turn, and then I'll worry about a Goblin Bombardment. Especially if this is like Supreme Verdict. Nope. Little Murktide. That's fine with us. Raise the alarm. We got Kaya's Guile plus a Dam. We'll see if we can get rid of this Murktide. Huh. If I had double red, we'd win here probably. Awkwardly, I have the double black on the red here, so I can't go Dam then Bombardment because I fetched the basic, which I do like that my life total is relatively high here. Let's go combat. Okay. They're at 8. Let's Bombardment's 7. I had to hit. It'll put them to 1. I'm almost tempted to just try to Kaya's Guile on their turn. I have the 1 blocker here too. I think I'm gonna pass. There we go, perfect. You may have my fairy. You may have my fairy. Opponent's panicking. You can tell. How can you tell? You can just tell. Smell the fear. Shock this in. I'd like to Bombardment for lethal. They're like, no, not allowed. Panic. Counters. You got it, opponent. You got it. Shall we go out in style, ladies and gentlemen? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Let's attack first. Let's not be too funny about this. Let's attack first, then we'll hook. That way we're well within range here. Cool. All right. Bam. Get hooked. Get hooked, opponent. All right. So Murktide control matchup with Darcy. Definitely feel like I want some of these. Oops, paths, not blossoming paths. Path and Soul Guide Lantern interest me the most. Bombardment's been decent so far. The combination of Bombardment plus Meathook usually means drain 2 or 4 damage because of like Lingering Souls. Lingering Souls with 5 mana out, Meathook and Bombardment played like earlier in the game. This becomes a burn spell essentially for 8, which is pretty hefty. Our quick Bitter Blossom worked really nicely. We'll see if that works again. Let's take 2 Blood Artists out for 2 Soul Guide Lanterns. I'm going to bring 3 Paths in for 3 Inquisitions. We're going to go with not interacting with my opponent's hand here. We'll be on the draw. See if we can just pressure with spell. Of course, we have to find lands. All right, we'll keep. Let's get rid of path. You know what? Let's get rid of gather, actually. We're a long way away from gather being anything. Get a soul guide lantern down, keep a few things in check. All right. Well, we have answers for these cards if we find the lands. Opponent attacks for 1. Down to 17. White mana? No. Attempt Bitter Blossom, see if they have the counter this time. Resolves. Hallowed Fountain shocks in. You have a Wear and Tear? Hey. What are we doing? Tearing the Bitter Blossom. Lightning Bolt to the yard. Wear and Tear's instant speed. Darcy is still a 1/1. Misty. Fetch. Pretty quick fetch, too. Blood Moon. Well, that's problematic. My opponent's 3-color deck has just Blood Moon us. We'll need our basics. We got 4 of them. Okay. Well. I went for a draw. They got the Murktide. It's a 3/3. If I get the basic planes, we'll be good. We're not doing it, though. Hitting for 4. We'll play around Blood Moon. That shouldn't be hard going forward. Second Murktide here. Grows the Murktide. Post-combat. We are dead, though. All right. So, I like what we chose. Let's bring the other path in. Maybe I want these Inquisitions to try to snag one of those. Let's take 1 Bombardment out, 1 Gather. And let's just fetch appropriately. We had a little bit of trouble with the initial hand. All right, well, gonna keep. I'd like a fetch land. A fetch land so I can get basic white plains. We'll see. And Darcy. There, Bobble. Scalding Tarn away. We'll get to Infernal Grasp later. Bitter Blossom go. If I get any fetch land now, I will have a path. I could path my own Bitter Blossom token. Something we could do. I was playing Bobble. Darcy in the yard now. Opponent ditched the Scalding Tarn here. There's a Flooded Strand. Do we have like a Wear and Tear again? Yep. Opponent had Wear and Tear both games. Kills Bitter Blossom. Now we have a 3/3. Bobble. It's an Urborg. Kind of wanted to be able to vindicate, like, the land over here. Do I need to kill this? Gonna wait on it. We're gonna wait on it. We'll see. Maybe waiting's a bad idea. They'll get some surveil value, but if they have Murktide here, I don't want them to get that value either. Attacks for 3. We're gonna just take it. Consider. This is where I think I go ahead and take this out after the surveil here. Because they're playing like this is their answer. There goes a Blood Moon. Let's go ahead and kill this. I'm doing this before they can play another land here. Now they could get Murktide down. They have the island. Then I'll just regret my decisions. But if we draw for path, we'll be okay. Or Vindicate. I hit neither. 6/6, 2-turn clock. I can't cast anything in hand. I guess I could cast a Meathook. Could put lures to hand too. I think I'm just so disappointed here because my out is really just path and now they have counter magic open. I feel outplayed. I tried to outplay them by playing the Darcy later, and then they followed up with Murktide and doubled their clock. And I got unfortunately blood moonded. All right. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. The fetch land was right below it. 1, 2. That feels like a bad loss too. I mean, they had 3 colors. I wasn't paying attention to the option of a blood moon there in game 2. Yeah, I guess I could have cycled. Then I could have fetched. I could have found basic. I'd be at 5. I'd path, and then they'd hit me with Darcy. I'd be at 2. I don't see us winning from there. I'd be at 2, and they're at what, like 18, 16. Yeah, I feel like the Blood Moon was just unfortunate. I just didn't see it, and they had wear and tear both games post board, so they could take care of my Bitter Blossom, which I guess is funny because we don't even have the full play set of Bitter Blossoms, but we were like, hey, we'll play that. That's what we'll do. It's all right. Let's get that 2-2 and let's work towards that 3-2. Gotta look optimistically here. Here we go. Match number 4. I think Bombardment, if there's anything Samingram's list has proven to us, Bombardment is very good. I've had a few mana issues. All right, Laris. All right, here's another hand that I'm like, yeah, this looks fine. I feel like I have to take some serious damage here, though. But let's go. Okay. So I want to be on curve here. And damage is almost irrelevant. Almost irrelevant. All right. Let's Inquisition. We have Dryad and Tireless Tracker. I'm going to take the Tireless Tracker. This lets them play Dryad. I can play Bitter Blossom, then I can Infernal Grasp. And really the Dryad, I think I can leave alone. The Tireless Tracker gains some value that I don't really want them to have here. Like, yeah, okay, it ramps them a little bit here, but I'm not really that concerned. Now I don't have to take damage like that. Bitter Blossom. Go. Okay. Could Mardo be too greedy with mana? Manlands and things? Probably. Engineered on 2, my opponent finds, and pops it immediately. So they find the Bitter Blossom answer instantly. Why does this keep happening to us? People are prepared for Bitter Blossom in the weirdest ways. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care if it's Squad Chief or not. How do they have it all the time? Lingering Souls, go. Now I can Infernal Grasp plus Lingering Souls if I want to. Only thing that we get a little bit hosed by is if they get Castle Garenberg here. It's a Radiant Fountain. They sandbagged a land for a turn here. We get punished for this. It's pretty good sandbag there. Pretty good. Valakut bounce land here. Deal 3 to a token. Bounce the Teleria West. Oh, they just go double Urza Saga. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. Okay. We're not going to worry about getting red here. I don't think life total matters a decent amount. Maybe I should. Maybe I get the Triome here and just Infernal Grasp the Primeval Titan. Don't worry about the extra Lingering Souls. No. No, I want to do the Lingering Souls things. Pass turn. Have Infernal Grasp here for the Primeval Titan before combat. Couple Saga tokens is all we gotta beat here. I tap through. All right, I've tapped through. What is my out here? Can't kill this. They'll go get Valakut. Have to wait for these trigger to resolve. Once the trigger resolves, if it's double Valakut, we kill the Dryad here. Takes 6. Okay. Okay. It's not an ideal state here to be in. Yeah. I feel like I should just concede. The Titan wasn't supposed to attack. I'm at 6. I'm at 4. They make 2 tokens here. I need a dam off the top. Dam doesn't win it for me because they make the tokens post dam. I have to block like everything here. Go to 2. That was frustrating. I shouldn't lose that quickly. All right. Focus, focus, focus. Prismatic ending's okay. A lot of tokens are needed. Bombardment's probably needed in this. And take the gathers out. Let's take one prismatic ending. All right. Interaction, Damping Spheres here for the double lands. I can always make things funny for them if we happen to top deck it. What do you think? They got it again? Let's find out. Let's find out that they have that EE on the 1 again, or on 2 again. Here we go. Here we go. Cavern of Souls names the sloth thing probably. Oh, expedition map. Now, I want to kill that. With a damping sphere here too, I'm going to totally kill this. Okay. All right. Maybe Bitter Blossom, maybe into Damping Sphere. Maybe I just Damping Sphere this. Double Bitter Blossom. All right. Damping Sphere is going to go down here to mess up the Simic Growth Chamber. Then we're going to Bitter Blossom, work ourselves a Meathook, and I think we have game 2 here. If my opponent stumbles here for a turn or 2. Name's Dryad with the Cavern. Land drops good. Bitter Blossom number 1. Pass turn. We know where we're going. I don't know if I want to really path here or if I'd rather just dam the Dryad. Force of Vigor. Well. Plays a Dryad. Has a land. Replays the land. Let's play Bitter Blossom here. I'm gonna pass. I think, honestly, I want to kill the Titan if it shows up here, rather than the Dryad. I have removal, yeah. They're naming Giant here. Maybe I plan to path here and then dam the Giant. I don't die to Titan here. Just watch them get 2 Valakuts here. Try to hit me for a lot of damage, and then I'll path the Dryad in response, and then I dam this one. I'm trying to do as much as I can here to make things awkward for them. They could play another Titan. Bitter Blossom trigger. Got a little castle here. Let's go ahead and take care of Primeval Titan. Pass the turn. All right, we got something here. Let's see what their last 3 cards are. We've stopped a lot of things. Amulet. Dryad. Land. Valakut trigger. Well, this is going to be interesting. Sam, I apologize for people. 1, I played the last game incorrectly. 2, I apologize that every opponent has had probably all the answers to Bitter Blossom and then all their follow-ups. Here comes 2 more Valakuts and that's game. Dang. Like I said, I apologize for the last one. Primeval Titan. Yep. Lost a variance? I mean, I tried to kill the stuff. You all know though, I'm gonna flash in this. Raise the alarm. I'm gonna get the last word here. Like if I had a path here, it wouldn't work either. They can play the Dryad. I think they could play another spell here. Man. And we even had the damping sphere. I even had the damping sphere. Where's my Angel's Grace? Where's my Angel's Grace? All right. Well, that didn't work. Let's get those 50 play points. Let's get those 50 play points. So Blossoming Calm hasn't done a whole lot. An extra Damping Sphere would be good. But the way everyone's had the wears and the tears, I mean, I'm not sure most of my artifacts or anything would stick. That wasn't it? I was like, oh, we have the Damping Sphere and we have Double Blossom. We'll have plenty of time. Force. The Twitch thumbnail was all Valakut triggers. I know. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff that we've run into, it's almost like we should be playing Blood Moon. Goblin Bombardment, Season Pyromancer, Blood Moon. All right, let's get those 50 play points. We got this. We will not be beaten. We will not be beaten. This hand looks... I like this hand. Bitter Blossom again. I don't think Gather's been worth it. 1/4 is very Mardu. All right. Triome, go. It is the Abzan Triome. If they prismatic ending my Bitter Blossom, I might flip the table. Just saying. Overgrown Tomb here. Maybe it's a Yawgmoth combo. Noble. Noble. All right. This feels very Yawgmoth-like. Let's go ahead and play our Bitter Blossom. Pass turn. With the Goblin Bombardments, we might be able to pick off these, utilizing our Bitter Blossom tokens. We're going to see what 4-drop they've got here. This is the story of our league. It's the story of our league. Bitter Blossom is a threat enough to be answered every time. I think except for match 1, right? Shadow Spear, Noble Hierarchs, Urza's Saga. I have absolutely no idea what I am playing against. I have no idea. We're going to work towards the most impressive gathering of town folk here, and I'm going to completely nuke my opponent for exiling our Bitter Blossom. Let's make it happen. I don't care they're going to gain a little bit of life. I don't care. Hit me. Take me to 5. Take me to 5, opponent. Don't you touch this with a prismatic ending. Undo. That's bad mana. Voice of Resurgence. Actually, Voice of Resurgence would be terrifying. Wall of Roots. No, leave it alone. Don't touch it. What are you doing? Don't touch it. They didn't even attack. This is how much my opponent respects me. Do it one more time, opponent. I dare you to. They're going to make a construct, by the way. Do it. Construct made. We are ready. Get rid of this bombardment, I dare you. Removal for everything. We just need a dam off the top. Meathook's close. Meathook is close. Would do 3. There's Pithy Needle. All right, Goblin Bombardment. It's shut down now. I mean, we're playing Prismatic Ending too. I can't say much. Constructs are 4/4s now. Okay. It's a good time. Just move it over here and hit me for 7. Just hit me for 7. Double Exalted. Give it to me. Nice. Going to 12. All right, we're going to try to work our life total here so that the other Gather the Townsfolk works. We'll see. They might have Fatal Push, Fatal Push. By the way, having the most of these ever. We drew 3 of them. They're not useful. We're getting punished. What do we think, Sam? Can I pull out the 2/3? Is it possible? What is this double black? That's right. You tap more mana, opponent. Damn, paths. Whoosh, 9. Oh my gosh, it's Liliana. I gotta lose to Liliana. Well, I know what I'm getting rid of. I know what I'm getting rid of. Temple Garden. Shocks in. We have 5, 6, 7 coming through. And take all 7. Go to 5. Double green. And move Shadow Spear over to the other construct. Okay. Luris. Our opponent has realized it's fluffy. That's me. Probably should have put the silent clearing in. I put the blood crypt in going, oh, I'll play this next turn. That's okay. We got this. 5 tokens. What a wall. What a wall of goodness. Meathook could be for 4 right now, which would kill everything. Just saying. I have 7 tokens. Can block this. Our opponent's asking us about Fluffy Wolf 1. Now we can't let them win. It's illegal. All right, little Turok. We discard, they discard. That grows, cool. 1-time Meathook off the top. 1-time Meathook off the top. I mean, is there any reason not to just block 7 here? Probably should have attacked first with the Fatal Push in hand. I'll attach this over here or here. Meathook. Damn. Okay. I can't Meathook for one. Okay. So I need a Meathook. They're going to do that. I'm going to have the Shambling Vent. So I want to attack first. Nah, they'll gain life too. I probably want to gain life, right? I mean, do I want to gain 1 or 3? It turns off Gather, but I have 2 Gathers already. Let's go ahead and attack. I'm going to be turning off Gather with Shambling anyway. Let's attack that Liliana. This is such a bad attack. They're like, block, easy. No problem. I can't Pithy Needles here. Mega Hook. All right, game life. We're at 9. They play the land. Shambling Vent is coming out you, Liliana. Don't be a good card. Castle's perfect to draw. Castle's perfect. Play the land, smack Liliana. The next turn I can play a spell. Woo. We're winning. Yeah, Needle sitting over here. Where's my Karn? All right, they're either going to play or not. They want to keep putting Liliana up. Want to make the game long enough with this. So land drop here. We get to ping Lily again or play a spell. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. I could kill the Pithy Needle and attack the Liliana. Then any tokens are like wide open to just start doing crazy stuff. Man, is that what I do? I Vindicate the Pithy Needle and I smack a Liliana one more time? I feel like that's what I want to do. Kill Lily, start drawing? We could do that too. That's not a bad idea. We're going to leave the Pithy Needle alone. I have no way to get rid of the Pithy Needle if I use this Vindicate. I don't think, right? No, I have Prismari commands. I kind of like that whole draw. So let's Vindicate Lily and then plan to draw. I like this. All right, let's see if we can get some value out of our castle here. We have the 1 of in the list. Let's make it happen. Noble. Works for me. Okay. We can deal with it, ignoble. Draw a card. Blood Artist is not a bad one. New draw. That's a bad card. Play Blood Artist. Pass turn, and then we'll see what happens. I kind of want to like Inquisition just to get it out of my hand, but maybe if they like wait on something, I can like check their hand. I'm going to probably castle one more time. Okay, that's a redraw. takes 3 draw. Like, if they Inquisition or Thoughtseize me here, I feel like really good because then I'm using Castle. Perfect. You can have my Inquisition. Thanks. Probably not doing this. What I am going to do, though, is Castle in response to this in case I got a removal spell. I don't think I have... No, I don't have anything. Ooh, Westvale. All right. We're going to take our 2 lumps here. Let's get rid of the Ignoble, and I'm going to swing in, I think, to gain a little bit of life. We can win with the Westvale. I'm not so worried about the Shadow Spear. I'm more worried about a creature right now. You think ending the Shadow Spear is better? I think the creature out of my way is better. When it does nothing for the turn. I'm going to pass the turn back to them. We're going to activate Westvale Abbey. I think there's a few lines that we can take here. I don't like a creature being around. There we go. A little Tarmogoyf. Little Goyf. Hooks it up. Let's go ahead and kill Goyf here. Triggers. Gain 1 life. Gain 2. Use Shambling Vent here. Attack for 3. Like I said, there might be a few different ways to win this game. Gonna shock in here. Kind of undoing our life totals here in order to get value out of things like Castle. I guess for me that the Ignoble is just a problem because it's just there. We have plenty of these cards to draw. Let's go ahead and offset the Shambling Vent here. Now I can Prismatic the Shadow Spear if we want, which we'll do that. Don't think I need to hit the Pithy Needle at the moment. We're doing okay. Like I said, just offsetting Shambling Vent a little bit here with our Shambling Vent. Why shock? So I could draw with Castle. Attack for 3 here. We'll take 3, then I activate Castle. I don't believe my opponent has reach here. Let's go ahead and use this. Another Meathook. Another Blood Artist. All right, play Blood Artist here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I think we have to sit back and defend now. Activate Shambling Vent, do some stuff here with the double block. Try not to die. It's not a bad one. says protection from white. Let's go ahead and make a token with Westvale Abbey. We're close to just like actually just doing the Westvale Abbey things, right? I mean, is that what we're doing here? Oh, this got really good. This got really good. Yeah. Oh, that card. Sacrifice 5 creatures. 3, 4, 5. Sacrifice the humans. One sec, chat. I need to stack a few triggers. Triggers stacked. Triggers stacked. These triggers stacked. Yep. Swing with the team, right? They block something, they die. All right, 22-2. Man, I wish I could sacrifice something to Pithy Needle. Wow, that gather. We've been dogging on the gather all night, and man, it just came in and slapped our opponent. All right. EE here probably, maybe some paths. Oh, that was worth it. That was a neat. That was a crazy game. We went really low and then back up. Castle won us that game. Drawing and navigating with the castle definitely won us that game. All right. A lot of tokens are good against my opponent still. I like the removal. I kind of almost hate the Goblin Bombardment. They can name it with Pithing Needle. Just like let them do that. And they'll never have it. I'm just gonna block things. That's what's gonna happen. 2 EEs, 2 paths. Go for it. Let's see here. What arts do I have? Let's do 2 matching arts, you know. Orrearch Champions, maybe. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring those in. Let's get rid of Inquisition. I'm gonna just outvalue my opponent. That's what we're gonna do. All right, Steam Fogger, take care, but thank you so much for stopping by. All right, Sam, we're gonna go no discard here. We're going to try to interact with my opponent at all costs. I think this is the right approach. My opponent's already going to be doing discard. I don't need random discard to re-discard them. We just need to have a handful of goodness. Not to mention that Lingering Souls is already decent against Liliana, so we got that going for us. All right, let's go, Luris. We got 50 play points to capture here. All right. Well, we have the champion. We can bring one more in later. I'm gonna just take down this ignoble immediately. Let's do it off of a shock here too. I'm gonna take down the ignoble immediately here. It's ramp. We want the game to go really, 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 really long. Urza's Saga here. Now, I think bringing in the interaction that we brought in is fine. Little Tarmogoyf. Okay. I think this is a great example of that too. Like we need to probably chump block at some point here. They're gonna make some tokens. We just need a big Meathook. Hope nothing too surprising goes to the yard here. 3 mana. Kaya's Guile to gain life and sack the creature, making the Tarmogoyf a 4/5. Now we're in trouble. Now we're in trouble. I have to fetch in response to this. Otherwise, I get got. I get got by the Pithy Needle naming Bloodstain Mire. So I need a damn path Pithy or path prismatic. Really? I take my Auriok Champion. This does not shrink it because of the Urza Saga that just hit the bin. That'll do there. Okay. Like I said, we got to get this game to go long here. I'm going to kill Tarmogoyf, then we're going to Meathook, hopefully. Long game's the idea. That'll be a good creature to kill. That's okay. All right, we're going long game again. Here we go. Opponent's on 2 mana. We're gonna board wipe. I'm gonna go get a basic probably. I can put that on 1 later. Gosh, I want to just do that right now. Let's board wipe. What we can do with the EE is put it on anything to get rid of a problematic card here. This gains us a little bit of life too, which we like a little life gain. It's never a problem. We can Wrath again if we need be. 5/6. Kind of. 5/6. 2, 3, 4. I can make 4 right now. So it's going to be EE on 2 here, it looks like. Tarmogoyf's a pain. Like I said, Meathook can kill a lot of things in the future. So we'll just make a bunch of humans and plan to... I don't know, maybe I chump block here. Chump block, then pop this. Don't put another 2-drop down. I guess if they hook up the Shadow Spear, I just have to pop the Tarmogoyf off. I'm going to chump. I don't see a reason that I don't chump here, because then that kind of slows down their turn. And we drain them for 1. It does grind pretty well. Remember, we've got Luris to go get too for this engineered explosive. So we might have the board relatively locked up here. I'm just trying to stall out what they can do for this turn. I think I'm feeling confident. I know I shouldn't. I guess the Soul Guide Lantern doesn't get the EE back immediately. Let's think here. Luris to hand now. There's probably going to be no window to grab it. Let's go ahead and pop it here. Okay. We'll see though. Luris to hand. Luris in play. Pop Soul Guide Lantern? No. Alright. I can't really get this on 1 very easily. Kind of just want to put it on 0, but that kills my tokens. I guess I'll go ahead and try to get it on 1. Oh, they're letting me. That's not right. All right. Well, we got it on 1. We're swinging with some folks. They needed to stop this from coming back with the Soul Guide Lantern. A small punt on our opponent's side, but I think it's going to cost them the game. Next turn, I'll just play this Meathook for 0 so that I have a Meathook in play. Then worry about using this one as a board wipe. Oh, they want to draw with this. Okay, they wanted to draw. Or they reverted to drawing with it at that point. All right. We got some tokens out there. We're at 4. Rub those hands together. I think we got a 2-3. Okay, green black here. Okay, Assassin's Trophy's a good one. Assassin's Trophy's a good one. I don't have another basic. Okay, don't tell me you have another Tarmogoyf. Uh-oh. Scoos. Scoos. Oh my gosh, do we just win? Do we? No, we don't. No. 5, 2 in, they block 1. No, 3 in, they go to 9. They block 1. Block 1. But I don't really want this to untap. 1, 2, 3. 3 in, they go to 9. They block 1. Then I play this, I have 8. Take them to 1. I almost like, man, the Shadow Spear out. The Shadow Spear is not a problem. No. Okay. We're going to attack them. I'm only going to gain 1. I'm only going to gain 1 here, and then I play Gather afterwards, and I have the Meathook in play. Yeah, I think I'm killing this. And I can do this and leave up Engineered on 1. Board wipe. Little split of what we're doing here. Here, and then EE. And then if they kill any of these, they're in trouble. And I'm going to be able to probably attack for a lethal. 2 Meathooks? What? 2 Meathooks? 1 Meathook? See if this Shadow Spear plays in here. I don't think it will, though. Just going to pop it now. Okay. I think we got this. Oh, shambling. I'm going to draw 1. Bitter Blossom's so awkward. Attack with a few here. And I think we win. I don't think I have to play Bitter Blossom. Yeah, Meathook's legendary. I'm not going to play the Bitter Blossom. We have tokens that we're going to block with. Oh, this has protection from white. Inquisition. Actually, 2 ignobles here. A discard. I might die here. Discard ignoble. I should have played the Bitter Blossom. I'm going to, well, no, because I'm going to 1. Man, that's scary. What is this? They don't have reach. They gained 4. Okay. It's an Inquisition. 1, 2, 3. Boot up Shambling Vent. None of this is blocking. They're going to block the Shambling Vent. And attack with the team. I should have attacked with more. I forgot this has pro white. I don't know why I didn't remember that. So they block 1 here, and then the trigger happens, and I win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They had to block here. All right, small mistakes all around, but a crazy game nonetheless. Still fun. Enjoyable game. Let's call it an enjoyable game. Let's see here. Westvale Abbey. That would have been interesting. Interesting game. Interesting game. 2-3 overall with our hooked on tokens. Gilded. It was interesting. If you block the Shambling Vent, I think you win that one, right? Because you just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go to 2. Yeah, I think I got away with it. Got away with it a little bit. It was a fun matchup. Very back and forth, kind of crazy there. It is what it is. So, Sam, what do we have? Game 1 was really good. Yeah, game 1 was really good. I should have swung with everything. I forgot the Torok had pro white. I was like, oh, I'll chum block it, and I forgot. So maybe that would have got it too. All right, so Gather the Townfolk really shined there the final game. The Fateful Hour is interesting. I think I would definitely still play Gather the Townsfolk, but just know that you almost have to like try to defeat yourself a little bit, which makes me kind of wonder if there's like a Gather the Townsfolk Death Shadow variation to this. Just a thought. Blood Artist did well, Bitter Blossom did well, and Bitter Blossom was targeted a whole bunch. Meathooks did well. Bombardment was pretty exceptional. It got attacked a bunch. I don't know if Bombardment makes the land base worth it though. There were a couple times where and it's some practice, but it also felt just a little bit awkward grabbing the pieces we needed. Sideboard needs a little bit of adjustments. Blossoming Calm probably had some value against maybe the Valakut player, but I'm not sure that's the direction I want to go with that. It's tough to say. We accidentally pushed through an attack combat step, and it just didn't work out for us there. So there you go. Some Meathook. Thank you, Sam. If you want to be like Sam, want to buy a league list here, links in the description for the YouTube folks and links in Twitch chat for the Twitch folks.